Welcome to our deep dive. Today we're at the finish line of, one of history's biggest logistical tasks, dividing up the Promised Land.
It's a huge moment. You can almost picture Eleazar the priest and Joshua there at Shiloh finally taking off the last names on the list.
Exactly. And our mission today isn't just about geography. We're looking at the final entry in Joshua chapter 19 because there's a really surprising character study hidden right at the end.
There is. It's so easy to read these final lots, Asher, Naphtali, Dan, and to see a list of names. But it's all high stakes.
Okay, so let's start with the fifth lot, Asher.
Right. And don't just think of it as a small plot. This was strategic. Their land went right up to the Phoenician coast.
So they're touching major cities.
Major fortified cities. We're talking Sidon the Great, Tyre. I mean, that's a position with immense trade potential, but also immense difficulty.
Sure. Then you have Naphtali, the sixth lot, which is more inland.
Yeah, anchored by the Jordan River. It included key places like Hazor and Kedesh. But the seventh lot, Dan, that's where the whole story pivots.
It hits a wall, right? It's a story of failure.
Absolutely. Their initial land was on the coast, near modern-day Tel Aviv, basically, areas near Joppa. But the source is brutally honest about it.
They just couldn't hold it.
They couldn't hold it. The local powers, the Amorites, probably the Philistines, they were just too strong. So Dan loses the land they were assigned.
And what do? They're forced to go on this pretty violent campaign way up north.
Way north. They have to conquer a completely different city, Leshem, and then they rename it Dan. It's this story of a tribe demanding their inheritance, but then having to seize a replacement because their first tribe just fell apart.
That struggle, that fighting and failing and conquering, it sets up this incredible contrast because while all this is happening, what's the main leader Joshua doing?
If you're waiting.
That's the part that's so stunning. After all 12 tribes get their land, including Dan, who had to go find a new piece, then, and only then, do the people give an inheritance to Joshua.
I mean, think about it. He's the commander, the national hero. He had every right, a promise, even from Moses, to claim the best piece of land for himself, right at the start.
He could have picked first.
He should have picked first. But he waited. He waited until every single person under his command was taken care of.
So why, in a world that's all about claiming your privilege, why is this detail even in there? Was it that the people sort of forced him to wait?
No, the sources really emphasize that this was about his own character. It was humility. It was obedience to the task, not self-promotion.
Okay, so tell me about the land he did get.
He chose Timnath-serah up in the hill country of Ephraim. And get this, it wasn't some ready-to-move-in palace.
He had to work on it.
The text says he had to rebuild the city before he could even live there. So he waited until last, and then he chose the project that needed the most work.
Wow. He literally took on a reconstruction project instead of taking a reward.
And that specific action, that choice, is what the source material presents as true greatness. It's why commentators, for centuries have connected Joshua's leadership style to a much broader theme of service.
You're talking about the part where the sources link him to a greater and humbler leader. What's that parallel about?
Well, the idea is that Joshua gave up his privilege, his position, to serve the people. And the ultimate expression of that, in the source's view, is Christ, who gave up equality with God to come as servant.
So it's an illustration. The guy handing out all the wealth takes nothing for himself until everyone else is secure.
And even then, he takes the biggest task.
So bringing this home, what does this ancient story about land distribution really mean for you today? When you think about leadership in your own life, at work, at school, even in your family, are you acting more like Dan, fighting to get your share first?
Or are you leading with that sort of humble patience of Joshua? The sources really suggest a leader's true measure isn't in what they demand.
It's in what they're willing to give up, or at least postpone for the good of others. So here's a final thought for you to take with you. What position of privilege or comfort are you tempted to claim first? And what might change if you decided, like Joshua, to wait until last?